what have you done with you and your wife, for instance, to be able to really impact each other or them? What's worked for you?
Yeah, I'd say I don't want to claim that I do this well. So time management is a big thing, obviously, right? And so one thing, and my wife and I talk about this all the time, is that one thing I think I've established as a skill set for myself early on was the ability to multitask. I mean, I have a lot of things going on, but I'm able to compartmentalize those and work on those in an efficient way, moving the balls forward. If that's not you, don't try to be someone you're not. Like, realize what your strengths are, realize where you have aptitude and how you operate. A lot of the partners I have on my venture stuff are not good multitaskers. I mean, we've established that they're working on the one thing and they're happy with that. So realize your limitations is, I think, one of the things that's important. Second is be present. When they were babies and growing up, and I tried to be somewhat prolific in reading about child development and child education and understand how their brains work, both from a medical and from a socioeconomic kind of perspective. And being present, especially I have two daughters. Father figure, and for daughters is a huge, huge thing. I go to every single event, make it happen. I use technology kind of like we do at Builders to techify my life to make sure that I'm efficient, both using email, SMS, phone, Slack, whatever it may be, that I can, I spend very little time on the phone. I spend a lot of time on the electronics, making things, moving things, so I can be present for them now. Again, as I said, I'm not claiming 100%. Sometimes I do get that evil look that, why are you on the phone at the dinner table? Oh, just one thing. I just got to finish this one thing. It's always one thing. And so I'm trying to work on making myself better doing that. We have a rule now that we keep our phones in another room at dinner time, and that's working well. But is truly trying to be efficient and being present. So those are the two kind of things that I realized that helped us be successful with our kids, I think.
That's amazing. And I love it. I love it because that's been, I just asked my girl to marry me, so she's my fiance now, but
Congratulations.
Thanks. We have a kid coming, a boy, in November, and it's amazing. She's in the same world as I am. She has an education company, and it's awesome to be able to see how we are able to have different viewpoints from different things, but coming together and spending quality time and having, being very present is huge. So I love what you just said. Is there one piece of advice for what men or women could do with their significant other? Like, what would you say about that?
It's funny. So my wife and I got married after 6 months. I like to say that I'm definitive, but and decisive. But it wasn't so much that I'm so decisive or she's so decisive. I think we realized after that, we were compatible, we loved each other, but that we are going to evolve as a couple. And 20 years later now, we've had lots of ups and downs and all that, but we've evolved together. We don't let any single event blow up to the point where it's catastrophic. We work through problems together. At the same rate, she doesn't participate in a lot of the things that I do, just they're not of interest to her. So we've found, she's a real estate agent. Real estate is something that I do a lot of, so we found commonality in what we do. And so we have discussions and commonality about the things that interest her, and then she doesn't prevent me from doing the things that interest or excite me, and I don't prevent her from doing the interesting things that excite her. So our Venn diagram overlaps in the middle, and we have interests that are common in the middle, but then we also have these circles of spheres of interest that are apart. So I think there's a healthy balance there in that we're both doing the things that we like, but we find commonality.
Awesome. Wow. I love the wisdom. Thank you. So very last question. What is one thing that you don't have today, that if you had it, you would be able to make more impact, solve a problem? What would it be?
It's a tough question. I think it's experience and wisdom, I think, are the things that I'm trying to develop and get, and that's the biggest challenge. So from a tool set perspective, I have access, influence, money, all of those things I've worked towards and have and feel that I'm effective in doing the things that I want to do. It's experience and wisdom that is lacking in new projects. So it's not that it's not attainable. You know, we go into a new company or start a new project, I spend a good amount of time reading, investigating, talking, learning to really educate myself on something. And, you know, my kids laugh at me. I try to make them do things. Like the other day, I mean, I bought a car and I wanted to paint the calipers red. You know, jacked the car up, took the tires off, painted everything, put new rims on it, put it on myself. And they're like, you know, there's people who do this. And I said to them, yeah, I mean, obviously there are people who can do everything, but you guys got to focus on learning new things and then accomplishing them. There's a sense of accomplishment. And, you know, they kind of say, well, I don't know how to take a tire off a car. I said, well, that's why you learn. I mean, in today's age, we have lots of resources, internet, books, YouTube, whatever, that you can figure stuff out. And that, I'm seeing them starting to do that. So wisdom, experience, two things that, you know, come with time is what's missing, and I'm working hard on getting those things.
I love it. Well, I appreciate you, Amit, for coming on today. Thank you for your wisdom. Thanks for spending 40 minutes with me. I really appreciate it. You guys down below, I'm going to have a couple different links to his profile, his LinkedIn, a couple of his companies. Really love what you're doing. Anything else you want to plug? What you guys got coming up? Any big projects?
No plugs. Do visit the websites. There's some stuff of interest. I'm available on LinkedIn, Instagram. Like if you have, I love interacting with people and learning from others. So feel free to reach out if you have questions. If you're an entrepreneur starting a company, feel free to send me a deck. You know, I'm happy to help as much as we can. We participate in many, many things, and so have a sphere of influence that, you know, can help. And I'm a big believer in karma, and paying it forward. So happy to interact with anyone on your platform who's seeking help.
I appreciate it. You guys, Significance Breeds Success down below. Check out what Amit's doing. You can see the advice. You can see not only personal, but professional. And so what he's doing is revolutionizing the world. And I love your purpose and the significance you're doing. You guys, every single week on Tuesday, we're putting out a new Significance Breeds Success podcast. So join us. Go to danielpuder.com or any of the platforms we have. Thank you.